Alright, I'm ready to pull in some fixtures now onto my floor. Now the space planning templates are in the design library here on the left. Space planning is the last category. So I'm going to go in and open up my category, my space planning category, and I want to pull in a door and some windows. So let me scroll down my browser, and I do want to bring in a door. I'll bring in this one. I'm just dragging it onto the canvas, and I want to pull in a window. Let me pull in this one here. Now there's one more fixture that I want to pull in onto the canvas, and that is a fireplace. So I'll click on my fireplace category here. And this particular room does have a corner fireplace, so I'm going to bring this one in. Now I'm done looking at my templates in my design library, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll close the browser. Alright, I want to now size this window. This window will actually go along the right wall, but I recommend sizing your objects first before you start placing them onto the floor plan. So to size this window to scale, click on Object, Scale. And you can enter in the exact measurements. Now in this case, this happens to be a 60-inch wide window. So I'm going to type in 60. There, I've resized my window. Now like I said earlier, this window should go along the right wall. So I do want to rotate this window by 90 degrees. We have this rotate command up here in the top toolbar, and I'll just click on it. There. Now I can place my window along this right wall. And I'm going to zoom in so I can see a little closer. There. Now I know that this window is 42 inches away from the corner of the room, so I need to measure out 42 inches. And to do that, I'm going to click on this icon here, which is my dimension tool. I'll click on the tool, then just click on the canvas anywhere. And you can input your dimension. Now, you can input fractions, but in this case it's just straight 42 inches, and I'll click on OK. Now I can draw 42 inches, and I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to place my cursor up by the corner, depress my mouse, and I will draw down. And you can see I've got my dimension tool now measured at exactly 42 inches. If I want to have a perfectly straight line, depress the Shift key and keep it depressed as you're drawing, and there, it will lock into place. It is now perfectly up and down, and then you can release your mouse and also release your hand on the Shift key. By depressing the Shift key as you're drawing a dimension tool, you can have a perfectly straight line either vertically or horizontally, or even at a 45-degree angle. So I'm going to nudge this dimension tool up just a tad with my arrow key on my keyboard, the up arrow key. There. And then I will highlight the window, and I'm going to move it down just a tad like that. And I'll move it closer to the wall. There. And I will zoom out again. Now I want to size the door, which is here on the left. I happen to know that the door is 59 and 3/4 inches away from this corner. So I want to measure out that distance, and to do that, again, I want to draw another dimension tool. So I click on my dimension tool icon up here, click on the canvas, and I can type in the length that I want. 59 and 3/4 inches. You type it as a fraction, so I'm typing 0.75 and click OK. Then I can draw my dimension tool. Now, keep your finger depressed on the Shift key as you're drawing it if you want a perfectly horizontal line, which in this case I do. There. And I can let go now. Both my finger on the mouse and the Shift key. I have an exact 59 and 3/4 inch tool, and I can move it into place like this. There. Now I can place my door, but first I want to size it. I always recommend, as I said before, sizing your objects first and then position them in the room. Now I happen to know that this door is a 32-inch door, so to size it, I'll click on Object, Scale, and I can type in 32. Actually, it already is 32. I'm going to just delete these fractions on both the width and the height. Alright, now I'm ready to place the door, and it's going to go right here. But as you can see, the door is facing the wrong direction, so I need to rotate it. I'll click on this icon right here and rotate that door. There. So now I can place my door, and I'll move it over here. Now notice one thing. The door is swinging over to the left side, but actually it's supposed to be swinging over to the right side. So I need to flip this door. There's a command up here called Flip Horizontal. I'll click on this icon and watch the door flip in position. There! And now that door is going to swing into the right direction. Now I need to place the fireplace. Now this happens to be a corner fireplace, and I know that it is 54 inches away from the door. So I need to measure out this 54 inches. And to do that, again, I'm going to use my dimension tool right here. I'll click on the tool, then click on the canvas, and I can type in my dimension, 54. And again, I will depress the Shift key and keep it depressed as I am drawing my tool. There, I have a 54-inch measurement, and I will put this in place. There. I think I'll nudge it over a tad to the right using the arrow key on my keyboard. There. Alright, now I can place my fireplace. To rotate that fireplace so that it does sit in the corner, I'm going to click on this icon up here. This is my rotate icon. Now watch what happens to those blue handles on the fireplace when I click on this icon. There, you see they turn into these arrows. If you place your mouse over one of the arrows, one of the corner arrows, you can start to turn that fireplace. and I want to turn it so that it will sit in the corner. There. When you're done rotating, then click on this other icon up here, which is your default design mode. There you go. And now you can see your normal handles. Now I can position the fireplace into the corner. Now this fireplace is a rather large one, and I'm going to resize it so that the corner goes up to my dimension tool. So I will place my mouse over this middle handle here and just pull like that until the corner reaches the dimension tool. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stretch this fireplace downward this way, but I need a measurement. I happen to know that the distance between the corner of the room and the fireplace is 105 inches. So I'm going to draw another dimension tool. Alright, one more dimension tool. So I'll click on my icon, click on the canvas, and I'll type in 105. Now, keep your finger depressed on the Shift key as you draw your line, and this time I want a perfectly vertical line. There. And then finally, I will resize this fireplace by pulling it down so that the corner reaches that dimension tool. There. So my room is sized to scale, my fixtures are in place, and now I'm ready to place some furniture. Now just a little note about the placement of doors. Some designers will place the door in the closed position as seen on the left. Others place the door in the open position as shown on the right. And I've seen some designers position the door something like this. And you don't want to do that because then you're not going to have enough clearance along the bottom. If we measured our door at 32 inches, we've now moved that door outside of the perimeter, and so you won't have enough clearance for that door to swing. So if you do position a door in a closed position, then make sure that you place it within the perimeter of the room. This will ensure full clearance when you swing that door open.